Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to share with you a video tutorial on how to make this cute little tissue box. Very simple to make, and we've just made these in my monthly card class, and it holds one of these little pocket size packs of tissues that you can find in your local supermarket. These ones I found 6 in a packet for a couple of dollars, and it fits perfectly the whole packet. So great little idea. If you didn't want to fill them with tissues, of course you could fill them with tea lights, chocolates, lollies, even some little handmade soaps would be beautiful in those. So let's get those out of the road and get started. So as I mentioned, the materials that we're going to use are 2 pieces of cardstock. This one measures 7 inches by 7 inches, or in the metric measurements we're looking at 17.8 by 17.8, and this one here is 11 centimeters by 19 centimeters, which is 4 5/16 by 7 7/16. We've also got a couple of pieces of designer series paper. Of course you could customize this to any occasion. Today I'm using the Sweet Soiree specialty designer series paper, which has got that beautiful foil element to it, which is just stunning. Of course, because it is a specialty paper, it is a little bit thicker than our normal paper weight, so it's a little bit more card-like. So let's get started. So we're going to start by making our base, and to do that we're going to need our square piece of card. All the measurements and details will be posted, of course, for you, so you can hopefully try this at home. So to start with, we're going to line up our left hand side with our 2 inch or 5 centimeter mark here. We're going to punch and score. We're then going to turn it 90 degrees. We're now going to line it up with the 3 3/8, which is about 8.6 centimeters. We're going to punch and score. Now we're going to repeat those two measurements again. So we're going to start at the 2 inches, punch and score, and then turn it for the final time to the 3 3/8, punch that and score that. So as you can see, we've got our 4 score lines, and it gives us that rectangular space in the middle, which is where our tissues will sit in our box. Now we just need to do one more round of punching and scoring, but this time we're not going to worry about any measurements along here. We're actually going to line up our score guide with the previous score lines. We're going to punch and then score. I'm going to come around again. Again, ignoring our measurements, we're just lining up our score guide each time we come around. So we're going to punch and score, and we've got one more. And there we have 8 score lines. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see that on the darker cardstock. Now, to create our little notch here, we're just going to get one of the ends. So as you can see, we've got a smaller triangle here and a larger one over here. So I'm just going to fold that over, give it a good burnish because it is going to go underneath our punch. And we're just going to eyeball it a little bit so that we have equal space on each side. And again, you're going through 2 layers of cardstock, so that will be quite a tough punch for that one there. Okay, so let's get that out of the road for now, and we're going to bring in our paper snips. Where our small triangles are, we're actually going to cut to create our tabs down that score line until we meet this score line here. And of course I'm going to notch it out like I always do, just to give the finish a bit of a nicer edge when we're assembling our box. We're going to do that on both sides. And then our last one. Okay, then we're going to fold and burnish along all of those score lines. Remember, this is a box base, so you want them to be nice and crisp. Fold that in as well. Okay, now that we've done that, we've just got one more step that I like to do. So we're going to fold in our triangles, then we're going to fold over on that second score line. Give it a good burnish. So each of these triangular pieces will actually end up with a score line. And the reason for that is that this is actually going to help it sit nicely underneath our tissues there. Okay. So we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So fold on the first one, fold over on the second. Okay, now that we've done that, it's just a matter of assembling our box. So to do that, I'm actually going to be using our Tombow glue. I love this simply for its wriggle room. It's also quite strong. So I'm just going to start with 2 of the tabs. Hold that together for a little bit, just until it takes hold, and then you can move on to the next one. Just a couple of seconds. A little bit of pressure, and we're good to go. Then again on our other end, just a little bit in the middle. It's quite hot here today, so this is quite runny. Holding it in just so it takes hold, and then our other side. And we're just lining up our score lines with the cut edge where we created that tab as well. Okay, once we've done that, it's then just a matter of folding our remaining tabs in, and again just a little bit of Tombow on each of those. And it doesn't matter which order these go in, just make sure they're nice and flush. Again, hold it down, give it a little bit of time to grab. Okay. And then our final one. Now, of course, you've got that nice little envelope base there. If you wanted to, you could measure that piece, cut a piece of coordinating cardstock or even DSP and cover up those joins. But I think it's quite neat enough as it is there. So I haven't actually gone ahead and done that, but of course you can do that if you wish. As I said before, this holds a full packet of tissues, and so we'll just pop those in there. All right, pop that to the side, and we're going to bring in our next piece of rich Razzleberry cardstock, and this time we're actually going to score. Now remember, when you're scoring with the trimmer, the light grey is our scoring blade. So I'm going to just line it up with our 6 centimetre mark, 9 centimetres, 15, and then our final score mark of 18. Pop that out of the road, and we'll just fold on those score lines just so that you can see them a bit better. Again, give it a good burnish. And 2 more. Got our little one. Okay, so there we have our score lines there. Now on this first panel here, I've just taken a post-it note and cut out our pretty label punch just out of a post-it note, and this just helps me for positioning. So if you're not game enough to slide it in there and just punch, you can actually use a post-it note just to line up your image, and then that way you can be happy and confident that it's in the right position. So then we just align the post-it note in our punch, pop that out, and that's where our tissues are going to come out through. Then we're going to just add a little bit of Tombow, just put a little bit around the edge. Now of course you could use framelits, oval punches, any shape that you like on there. If you didn't want to pull tissues from the box, you could put some acetate across this as well if you wanted to. Okay, so I've just covered up that beautiful image from our pretty label, but of course when we turn it over, same sort of principle, we're just going to line it up. And the reason why I do this is because that specialty paper is a little bit thicker. When you're punching through several layers, it can sometimes be a little bit harder, especially if you have arthritis or something like that, where you know you haven't got the strength in your hands to punch through. Okay, so then we're just going to add on our last two little bits of paper. And again, I'm just using the Tombow for that wriggle room. So then once I'm happy with the position, I just apply a bit of pressure and let it sit there. Okay, so pretty. Then we're just going to add a little bit of tape and tear to that small edge along there. Peel back the paper. When I'm closing this or sealing it up, I actually like to turn my box upside down, just so that I have that strong base to align my two edges up with. And then I'll pop it up the right way. So there you have it. Very simple, very easy, not many special tools that you need other than our punch board and a scoreboard of some description. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think these are super cute and I can't wait to make some more. And of course, change up your DSP, you know, make them Christmas, fill them with rumbles. Your options there are endless. If you've got any questions, please feel free to send me through an email or a message, and I hope to see you all soon. Thanks.